Good morning. I hadn't added my video and audio to the stage, and as you can see, I live here now. Basically, I've relocated to my office instead of the dining room, and my walls behind me. I'll show you. Like, I'm not bothered about showing you. I'm just trying to not distract you with how amazing my house is. Uh, I don't know what happened there. Apologies. Brilliant. It's going well already. How are you all? Um, yeah, I've just clearly got a virtual background because there's bare plaster behind me and stuff. At some point, I'm going to have this room replastered and painted and stuff, but it's the last thing that needs doing because actually, although I call it an office, I sit by the back door. So basically, it's like, what would you call it? Is it a hallway when it's by a back door? I don't know, but that's where I am. So yeah, it'll get done eventually. And shall I make this like a real aesthetic, you know, I don't know, maybe like a background designed for my videos? I don't know, maybe I will. Anyway, that's where I am today. I am working on my so the new book with Natural England. I spent all last week like head down getting it done, and I finished it, but it needs polishing before I send it to them. It's always easier to work with something that's finished. So I'm glad that I have like a finished piece, but I think it's a bit top heavy. Like there's a lot at the beginning and then it peters out. So I'm just going to even things up a little bit. I know that there's two verses I can smush together if needs be, because I think there's a section that I need to add in at the end. So that's what I'm doing today. So then I can email it over to them. And the way that it works is that, they have a chance to say if this was what they had in mind, if I've really missed the mark with what I've done, if there's certain bits that they'd prefer weren't in there, or certain things that they thought I'd put in there and that I haven't. So before I go too far down the rabbit hole of finessing it, they get a chance to have a little look and let me know if they want me to change anything, and then I can do that and then go hard into the editing of getting everything exactly how I want it, and then they get another look, which may or may not, it'll probably be after the editing, so once so that I can present it and go like, this is edited, completed. And then what happens is it gets edited again right at the very end once everything's formatted, because I've had things before like a rogue full stop and stuff like that, where when you're copying the text across it goes a bit odd. So yeah, there's a last opportunity for them if anything has come up where they think, oh, actually, you know, they would like this ever so slightly different. Obviously everything's clear in all the planning out that there's only so much you can do at the end, but yeah, anyway, the point is I'm going to get that sent over to them today or tomorrow so they can look at it and see if there's anything that they would like majorly changed. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good week. Jane says YouTube has been really slow since last week. We'll be planning about the next 3 weeks. Yeah, it's like, man, the planning phase. Well, I hope you have a good morning this morning, getting some stuff done. And yeah, as I say, I'll be working on the new Natural England book. So I'm going to put myself on mute and get on with it. Enjoy as usual. It's 3 lots of 15 minutes. I hope you get lots and lots of stuff done. Okay, that is 15 minutes over. How'd you get on? I had to let the dog out if anyone saw me getting up and checking on her while she was outside, because I sit right by the back door, as I said earlier. Strangely, this background behind me is not real. Who would have thought that I don't have space for? Oh, wrong side. Grand. Is that a grand piano? Baby grand. I don't know my pianos. Who would have thought it? But yeah, there we are. I am happier with what I've written than I thought. There's a few things that I've missed out, and I think what I'm going to do is put some notes saying I haven't put this in because of limitations of space, so they can think about how important it is. And I've also been quite vague about certain things, but I think that's okay, because I think the illustrations can give what I'm, because there's obviously limitations in, so it's going to be 13 verses along with which are rhyming, along with the illustrations, and with the limits of keeping it short for a young child and rhyming, I can't always put in all of the information that I want to. By the way, that's my bathroom fitter, if you can hear cutting some wood. So yeah, I think what I might do is give them some notes saying, how do you feel about this? That I haven't specifically mentioned these things, but they'll be shown in the illustrations. And also, right now I'm going to start working on the back matter. So where the way I like to think about it is that a family will read one of these books, and that they will, be able to have conversations about what the book is about. And in those instances, they'll be able to look at what I've written and look at the picture and go, oh, look, because you see this and this, and it will be quite obvious, what I'm referring to in the text. It's hard to explain without giving more specifics. But then if they want to go deeper, they can go into the back of the book, where there'll be a whole bit written out with more information. It's similar to what I did with the marine book. So I'm going to write that now. I think I'm relatively happy with what I've done. So, I'll let them critique it, because before I put too much into it, I want to give them the chance to say if it's not right, because otherwise I could spend hours and hours on it, and I've gone in the wrong direction or something. So that's what I'm going to do. What are you guys working on today? How's it going? I know not all of you are here on a Monday morning, so this may be afternoon or evening for you. I know it's difficult to do a time that works for everybody, but yeah, how was your weekend? If you're English, did you watch the football? We did, and it was really nice. We don't often sit all five of us together. I think really only when we're on holiday. And yeah, we had all five of us and the dogs, and it was just really nice. It's nice to see the interactions between the kids, because actually they tend to split up. So my son is 13, nearly 14, and my daughters are 11 and 7. So tends to be that my son's doing his own thing, because he's secondary school, and and the daughters my daughters are doing their own thing. So it was nice that they were all hanging out, and that it was pleasant. Didn't really matter that we didn't win. It was reminding me of the 1996 Euros, though, that I was really invested in. It's probably the only time I've actually really particularly cared about football. I think, was that not the year when what was it actually called? The Baddiel and Skinner song. Is it called Football's Coming Home? I think it's called that. And we'd we'd been singing the song in music at school. Everything was about football, and I had a poster up of it. And I remember the hype around the fact that we were going to win that year, and then we got into the semis. So and I watched all of the matches with my mum, and I think that's probably the only time I've watched football since, because my son loves football. But in terms of actually caring about the outcome, anyway, it was nice. Let's get on with it. I am waffling. So another 15 minutes. let's go. I will mute myself. See you soon. Okay, guys, that was another 15 minutes. Do you know what? It's just as well that I set myself an alarm because number one, I would have just been typing away and completely forgotten what what the time was. And number two, I actually kind of forgot that I was live streaming. So the alarm going off was like, oh yeah, I was doing that thing. And you'd have just had me typing away, potentially wandering off and doing some jobs and just leaving this live. It was like I went, oh yeah, that was the thing I was doing. Um, I'm writing at the moment the back matter for the book, and so this book, I think I've said before, is it's not part of the Discovering Marine and Coastal Habitats series that I've done with Natural England. It's a different series, a slightly different subject, and I want this book to be like a cousin to the previous series. So you can see that they're written and illustrated by the same people and part of the same thing, but they're slightly different. So we're using a slightly different style where the story is running slightly differently, and I've had a really good idea for how the back matter is going to be different. So yeah, those last couple of pages are gonna have a different feel to them, and be more aimed at the kids. So with the Discovering Marine and Coastal Habitats, although absolutely the language I'm using is stuff that kids can understand, in my head I'm aiming that stuff at an adult who's going to have a look and, just sort of read through it and go, oh, okay, I know a little bit more. And that, because I'm thinking of it in the way that my children would read a book and they wouldn't read the back bit. Whereas this one, I'm thinking the children are going to read. Oh, my loudness is on. What's the word? Volume. That the children will read it. So just making it a bit more interactive and fun, which I really like. I'm excited by the idea that I've come up with, and yeah, how I can sort of use that space in a different way. And I think I'm going to lay out the book a bit differently. I need to have a think about it. And I think I need to sort of beta test it a little bit with people and be like, would it bother you if you buy this book? And, sort of how different is too different. But yeah, I'm excited by that. Jane, I love that you also forget that you're doing sprints. You've planned the next week. That is awesome. I'm not sure how my week is panning out just yet. As I've said on here before, it can often be quite unpredictable of what days I'm going to teach. And last week I just didn't teach at all. I needed to get this thing done for Natural England. But once that's emailed over, I can go and teach. That said, this time of year you don't have masses of staff absent, so even if I'm available, I'm not sure how much work I'm going to get. There's always plenty for me to do here. And because I've literally just been writing and writing and writing, I have loads of other admin tasks that could do with being done, so it's absolutely fine if I'm not teaching. But I am aware that teaching pays far more of the bills than writing does, and the summer holidays are coming up when I do not get paid, because the only way you can get paid over the summer as a teacher is if you are working for a school. So like when I worked last year, I did a 10-month contract for a school, and that did run over several school holidays, including the summer one. But because I was an employed member of staff, then I'm paid for the school holidays. The way that it works with like supply and cover is that's almost factored into what you earn. So it's not like I lose out necessarily, but when I'm figuring out, okay, I've earned this much this month, I'm aware that in the summer I will have no income coming in. So, you need to take opportunities when you can. So yeah, I really don't know how my week will look just now, which makes planning a little bit difficult. I have got loads of ideas for YouTube videos at the moment, though. I'm feeling super inspired by that. And if I have the time, I might pre-film some bits and pieces because of the summer and, being the main person with the kids, because my husband has, an employed job. What is the word for that? Like He's not self-employed, he is employed. So he's got to go to work. So I'm kind of balancing things a bit here, and a bit of prep would be good. Right, we have got one last 15-minute sprint, and then we'll come back for a chat at the end. Anyone who's joining me, pop in the chat what you're up to, what you're writing, what's your week looking like, and we'll have a chit chat at the end. So here we go, last 15 minutes. Let's get some stuff done. All right, guys, that's it. 3 lots of 15 minutes. We did it. I am gonna finish up once I go off this live stream because I'm not quite done with what I'm doing. And I think that after about another 15-20 minutes, I'll be ready to send what I have to Natural England. So I'd rather just sit here and get that finished up and see what they think. I'm always a little bit wary that I'm sending them something unfinished and that they'll look at it and go, like, so I have tried to explain, look, there may be bits where the rhyming doesn't quite work or where I've got notes on this line could change to that, or it doesn't feel polished yet, but that's the point, because so much work goes into that refinement that as I've said already, I don't want to go too far with that. So I just want to present them with, how's this? And then we can go from there. So, but it does make me nervous that they'll look at it and be disappointed. Hopefully they understand what I'm saying, which is I'm just sort of giving them the idea of what the thing is going to be, but I'm excited about it. Just making sure that it's sort of cohesive, that the whole thing, there's some stuff I've said in the beginning that I feel I want to tie in a little bit more, so I'm going to work on that. And the sort of end matter bits and pieces, I would like to just give them a real idea of what the finished thing could be. But I am excited with what I've done today. So yeah, hopefully by the time we sit down next week, I will have answers from them on whether it was what they were looking for, and then I'll be working on that, getting that ready. So that's exciting. I'm sorry about the noise. This is the last day for our bathroom fitting next week. It'll just be me in the house. So yeah, I'm pleased with what I got done today. Jane, I love that you chat. I know there's there's not billions of us sitting here doing these sprints, but I love that you join in. And guys, I know there are lots of you that watch afterwards, and do feel free to drop comments in. I'll reply afterwards. Jane says she's finished her calendar blocking, will continue working on her newsletter. Amazing. Do you know what? My newsletter, do subscribe if you want to. It's linked on my website, if not in the description in this. I always leave it to the last minute, and I wish I was better at planning it out. It's not something that I massively enjoy doing, I think. Once I'm into it, I kind of do. It's just one of those things I procrastinate about. But newsletters have incredible value for us authors. Yeah, so I'm doing the usual today. I'm heading out to do some volunteering this afternoon once I've got this emailed off to Natural England. And that's my day. As I say, the rest of the week, I don't know. I am going to be filming another YouTube video, potentially pre-filming some stuff. And I need to deal with Amazon for a few bits and pieces. I'm also going to add something to my website shop. Is that the right word? Store. So I'm going to do some website stuff as well this week, hopefully. So lots and lots of bits to be getting on with. Yeah, that is everything. Thank you so much for joining me again today. And if you're watching this after the live, thank you for joining me then too. And do feel free to drop me a comment on what you've got up to today. I'll be back here next week. As I've already said, I'm not sure about the summer, but I think it will be okay. I will get better at scheduling these so that you know whether I'm going to be here or not. But anyway, yeah, thanks for joining me today. Thanks, Jane, and yeah, see you all next week. Have a good one. Take care.